Hi class. Today my leadership story is going to be in reference to when I worked for a small nonprofit organization within Hartford Communities That Care. And their mission was, or their mission is, to create a non-violent, drug-free community that families can strive. With that being said, the organization had different entities. They had teams, they had a crisis team that would go out if they were called, if somebody got shot. So today, if one of the youth gets shot or is beaten very badly or something tragic happened to one of our youth, the crisis team used to go to the hospitals, meet with the families, console the families. Now they wait. They get a call, they go to the hospital, but they don't embrace the families. I'm not sure why it changed, but it did. So I took a position there in about 2013. I stayed for about a year before I got a full-time position. During this time, in the beginning, I wasn't sure that was what I wanted to do. I just needed some income because I was in between jobs. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews. And around the age of 14, 15, when they know everything, I will back up because I'm not their parent. And I don't want it to become them being disrespectful. So even with my own children, my nieces and nephews, I will back up. So going into this position, I was thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with these children? I was assigned to an after-school program. And I didn't think that there were going to be a lot of students that signed up, but they did. So when I was placed there, I was given a group of children. I felt really bad because some of the children couldn't even write their names. They knew how to say their names, but spell their names, write their names, their whole name, like their first name and last name, they couldn't do. And I was sitting back thinking, oh my goodness, my daughter was the same age as these children, and my daughter knew how to write. She knew how to write her name. She knew exactly where she lived at. She knew my phone number. She knew her grandmother's phone number at that time. So she knew things that these children didn't know. And I said, something is wrong. And first of all, my daughter is bussed out. So she doesn't go to Hartford schools. And I've always heard, the Hartford school system was bad and they don't teach you this and that. I did go to Hartford school system, and I thought I was learning what I was supposed to be learning. But looking back, maybe I didn't, and looking at the children who were attending the elementary school, maybe they didn't have the best teachers. I'm not sure. But anyways, we had to come up with a curriculum. And the curriculum was, after they released from class, they would come in, we would sit down in our groups and, do homework. We would help them with their homework. And I noticed that some of the kids would fly through their homework. So, okay, so we're going on to the next thing. We have snack, and we're going on to more fun things. But then when I started to look at their homework, like, okay, you're doing your homework, you're getting it done pretty fast. Let me see what's going on. So I started looking at the homework. Needless to say, the homework we have done, not correct because they don't know what they're doing. So I had to spend extra time with them. And I remember a guy and his mother. The mother used to work there as a cafeteria lady, and she had two girls. And they're beautiful girls, but they couldn't read, they couldn't write their names. And I started working with them. And the father would come in. I almost felt like the girls' parent, like their mother or their auntie. The father would come in. You know, sometimes he was a good man. He was going through a breakup or whatever. And he would come in. He wanted to check on his babies. And his mother would ensure them that they would be learning. Because I sat down and I taught them. I don't remember their names. But by the time I left, they were able to spell their names. And that was very rewarding for me. Also, during this time, we had families, parents who wouldn't come to school, not for PTO, not for anything. So we had to engage the parents as well. And when you saw the children, how the children acted, it was a reflection of how the parents acted. So we had to get the parents involved. So I said, well, my partner at the time was a caterer, a chef. She still is a chef, but she's not my partner. So I said, we should bring food in and invite the families out. If they know food, everybody loves food. They may come to PTO and plays, because we did put on plays also. So after PTO, we would have a room set up with food, whether it's pizza, cooked food that I had my partner do, sodas, waters, and the families loved it. So we got more participation that way. It was awesome to see the children and their parents, sorry, that's my dog, come out. Also, when we put on programs, we were able to get more families out to the programs because they knew that it was going to be a meal there. They knew that we cared about the families. I even figured maybe we should do home visits just to see, because it goes beyond school. What's going on at home? And I figured, okay, I could come up with some resources, or like a resource book. We came up with a resource book. It had people in it like CRT for energy assistance, you know, for the light company, for the gas company. We had all types of phone numbers. Anything we could come up with that was for free knowledge that they may not know about. At the end of the program, it was rewarding for me to see, actually after the program, for me to still run into the father of the little girls and also the grandmother. And they both embraced me because I took time with their children. The same children I dreaded working with. I did not want to work with children. But these children were respectful. They listened. They wanted to learn. So it taught me that even though you may not want to do something, that you if you're put in a position, especially with children or somebody you know needs you, you just put your best foot forward and you do the best you can. And I'm happy to say that I got over my fear of being one-on-one with the children, because I did sit with each one of them personally to help them. But these two really stuck out because they were really struggling. They were going through a hard time at home. They were having a hard time at school. And I think it relieved the father and the grandmother to know that there was a point of contact who really cared about the children and was going to make sure the children was okay. And that's my story.